What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to our 21st national park, which will be Guadalupe Mountains National Park in Texas, and this one will be our 21st, which means we're a third of the way done visiting all 63 of the United States national parks. But yeah, we're staying here in Carlsbad, New Mexico, so we're gonna go drive about an hour up there to the Pine Springs area, and then we're gonna do like Devil's Hall Trail, Guadalupe Peak Trail, and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for that. But we're gonna drive up to Guadalupe Mountains, and then I'll talk a little more about what we're gonna do. We just made it over here to the Pine Springs area. We made a quick stop at the visitor center, but now we're gonna hike into like the Devil's Hall Trail. It's about 4 miles total, but we might not do all 4 miles. We'll see. I don't really know yet, but yeah. And then this afternoon we're gonna go up and we're gonna hike Guadalupe Peak, which is somewhere up in there. I don't really know. It's somewhere in there. So yeah, let's go hike Devil's Hall Trail. For the first 1.25 miles of the Devil's Hall Trail, it is pretty flat and easy with no real obstacles you will have to navigate. This section of the trail offers great views of the beautiful Guadalupe Mountains and surrounding desert landscape. But from this point on, we will head down into the desert wash and we will have to traverse some pretty big boulders and obstacles. There is then another mile of navigating through these boulders, and before long you will reach the infamous Devil's Hall rock formation. This is a 200-foot long limestone formation that takes a little rock scramble to get up onto. This scramble up the rocks is pretty easy as long as you climb up the right way. This trail was so cool and would definitely recommend it if you are coming to Guadalupe Mountains National Park. The first about 1.5 miles, pretty much anyone can do it, but once you drop into the wash, you might want to be a little bit more fit and okay with scrambling over rocks. Even if you can't do the last section through the rocks, it is still worth coming to check out this trail and is a great way to experience the park. On the way back down, you will need to keep an eye out for the trail leading you out of the wash, as if you don't go up this trail, you will keep going through the wash and be forced to backtrack. Otherwise, the whole trail is pretty easy to follow. But now, we continue on with our time in Guadalupe Mountains National Park. We just got back from hiking the Devil's Hall Trail. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It started off, like, the first mile was really, easy and just on a trail, and then you kind of dip into the wash for the rest, or for the last mile or so, and that's when it gets a little bit harder. You're, like, kind of scrambling over boulders and stuff, and then we didn't hike all the way to the end, but we hiked to the most iconic section of the trail, kind of like the I think it's called the Devil's Hole. I'm not for sure. But yeah, now we're gonna go hike the Guadalupe Peak Trail, which I think it's like 8.7 miles or so, with about 3,000 feet of gain. And yeah, so it's the highest peak in the park, and then it's also the highest peak in Texas. I think it's about like 8,700 feet tall. I'm not for sure on that though, but let's go hike the Guadalupe Peak. We're about halfway up the Guadalupe Peak Trail here. It's kind of gotten into like a little bit more like foresty. I would say like the first mile and a half is probably the steepest, and then it flattens out a little bit, but not really all that much. But it's really consistent. Like there's no like up or down. But we have about a mile and a half, probably a little more than a mile and a half to the top. As we made our way out of the middle forested section, the trail continued on to go up, and we were then met with the last final push to the top. This section had some minor rock scrambling and a couple more exposed sections. So far, the trail has been really cool as you make your way up all the switchbacks. But now, we continue on with the last big push toward the top. We made it to the top of Guadalupe Peak here in Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Yeah, super cool. A couple little scrambles to get up here, but nothing too bad. You can see the views are just super cool. You can see El Capitan over here, the one in Guadalupe Mountains. Yeah, it's really windy up here, but super cool. Highly recommend this hike if you're coming to Guadalupe Mountains. That is where we are going to end this video of exploring our 21st national park, Guadalupe Mountains National Park. The Devil's Hall Trail was really cool and is a must-do, and the Guadalupe Peak is also a must-do trail in the park, especially if you're strong enough and capable of doing it, as it is a pretty strenuous hike. The next videos coming out will be Big Bend National Park, and also be sure to go check out Carlsbad Caverns and White Sands National Parks videos if you haven't yet. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, share this video with your friends to help support the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.